Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Hello Redlow podcast. I'm your host, Terry Mullen, and I'm so happy you're here. If you're new here, welcome. Redlow is older spelled backwards. I'm older, and perhaps you are too. Or perhaps you're just a little bit curious about who I am and what I have to say. I show up here each week talking about all things like navigating life transitions, overcoming hard things, and rediscovering who we are now in this season of life. I do solo episodes, and I bring on a few of my friends, other amazing women who are stepping forward with their lives, starting businesses, and overcoming their own hard things. We all have a story to tell, so sit back and listen in. It took me quite a long time to develop a voice, and now that I have it, I'm not going to be silent. That's a wonderful quote by Madeline Albright. In the back of my book, Step Forward, I have a page of quotes from amazing women that I love and respect, and most of them share something about finding our voice. So it's something that's really important, isn't it? And what does it mean, actually, to find our voice? Well, I'm going to share an excerpt from my book that's very personal. It gives some insight as to why I'm on a mission to help other women find their voice. I go on to say that I have been told to be quiet, stop making an issue, and just get over it throughout my entire life. I often kept things to myself, didn't talk about certain things or make an issue out of something. You see, early on in my life, I learned to be the good girl. I also learned not to trust my own ideas and opinions. And it's taken me about 60 years to learn to trust my ideas and my opinions and trust myself. When you are told these things throughout your life, it really isn't about you, it's about them. I became a master at always being far more interested in someone else's story, opinions, and life versus my own, and learning to just do things without asking for help. To this day, I am far more interested in other people. I've waited far too long to really use my voice, and I've done a lot of personal work to find my voice and to find my truth. Therefore, my goal is to help and encourage you. I've had a lot of strong people with strong opinions in my life, my entire life. As a result, I have learned what not to do and have created a safe space for my children to speak up and have a voice of their own. I welcome their thoughts, their ideas, and their opinions. I respect them, and I have learned so much from them. I'm still a work in progress, and I continue to learn and grow in this season of life. And now, I am on a mission to help women step forward and navigate life transitions, overcome hard things, and rediscover themselves. I teach them to step into their potential, to find their voice, and use their God-given talents. You can be a strong and confident woman. Real strength, real courage, and real confidence are rooted in believing that what you have to say is valuable and it will help someone else. So start now. Step forward and speak your truth. Write, journal, sing, speak, and tell your story. Find safe spaces and safe people to express your thoughts, perspectives, and stories. So with that, finding your voice might look different for everyone. It might be speaking up and voicing your opinion. It might be saying no to someone or something that you don't want to do. It might be having a difficult conversation with someone that has really hurt you. It might be speaking up and having a hard conversation with your boss, a coworker, or a spouse. It might be standing up for yourself and quitting your job. It might mean starting something new and finding the courage to actually go do it. Today, I help female entrepreneurs find their voice, as I mentioned in my book, by having the confidence to show up on camera, a podcast, in their business, and with their writing. You just have to start. If you are an entrepreneur or you want to be one, I can help you move forward if you're stuck. And often we're stuck because we don't feel worthy. We often stop listening to that still small voice inside, don't we? The guiding spirit that God gives you that leads you forward with your life. And the one that knows you best is that spirit and you. Most of us know what we want to do. We really do. But we let the world outside dim our light. We play small. We kindle other people's fires. We downplay our strengths. Someone else tells you that that isn't a good idea, or why do you want to do that? That's ridiculous at your age. You should be golfing or doing something fun and enjoying your life. Why do you want to work or do a podcast or write a book, right? Ever hear those things? Even people with the best intentions who love you will say those things without realizing what they're saying. And I have a card that's hanging on my wall that reminds me every day. It says, her soul is fierce, her heart is brave, her mind is strong. And I want to encourage you with that today, because that's you too. God has given you a bigger calling on your life than the doubter that rises up. Your experience, the hard things you've overcome, and the lessons that you have learned have empowered you and given you a passion to help someone else. And if that still small whisper is nudging you, I want to encourage you to step forward and lean into it. About 2 years before I started Hello Redlow, I had a prompting and I had an idea, and a coach actually had me write down everything I wanted to do with my life. And everything on that list is what I'm doing today. And I was awakened in the middle of the night with the word Redlow. And I share that story in my book too. Redlow is older spelled backwards. I didn't just think of that. I couldn't have thought that on my own. And I keep a notepad next to me on my nightstand for this very reason, because for me, in the quiet of the moments when my mind actually can think without distractions, I get what I call these downloads, and they can be spiritual downloads. And I'm sure you've had these moments in your life as well. There is a top researcher and neurologist who studies creativity. Her name is Dr. Alice Flaherty. And she talks about this, that it's in these moments when our brains are at rest, they don't have distractions, and sometimes they're full of dopamine. That's when our best and most creative ideas come to us. So it's not unusual to get these downloads or these creative ideas when you are taking a shower or cooking or going for a walk or exercising or driving. And it's really important to make sure that you have this awareness so that you can capture these thoughts when they happen. I'm just super intrigued by that data because it happens to me. I have my best thoughts when I'm doing something completely mindless. So anyway, kind of back to what we're talking about. I have 5 things that I want to share with you today about how to find your voice and unleash your confidence. Today, many amazing women struggle to find their voice and share their message with the world. And it comes from a place of feeling unworthy. And if you are familiar with 𝐂𝐦𝐿, you have probably seen that her new book has come out called Worthy. She just did an amazing all-day event to talk about this with some of the best thought leaders in the personal growth and development space. And in her book, she shares some really fascinating data. She says that 80% of women don't believe they're enough, 75% of female executives deal with imposter syndrome, and 91% of all girls and women don't love their bodies. Staggering statistics, and maybe you see yourself in those statistics. I know I do, and I've spent many years working on it, and I'm constantly a work in progress. So whether it's speaking on camera, writing, or podcasting, or starting a business, or whatever you're doing, the fear of not being seen or heard or valued can be paralyzing. Worse yet, that fear of what others think can rise up and really keep you stuck. That fear of judgment and needing approval, right? But the truth is, your voice matters, and the world needs to hear it. So let's dive into this. How can you step forward and start using your voice and believe that you're qualified and that you're worthy? Number 1, embrace your uniqueness. You're not a copy of anyone else. You are you. There are 8 billion people in the world, and there's only one you. There's only one you with your DNA, your creativity, your unique experiences, your perspectives, and your passions. And that's what makes your voice valuable. Stop comparing yourself to others and start focus on the unique strengths that you bring to the table. Because when we compare, we stay stuck and we dim our light, don't we? The quote, "Why are you trying so hard to fit in when you were born to stand out?" comes to my mind. And that's a quote from Ian Wallace. It's so easy today in our world of technology and social media to really compare. But when you're building your business, you're trying to connect with your ideal client, your ideal person. You can't do that if you're not being authentic to who you are. And I really, more than anything, want to encourage you to be yourself. Today, authenticity is what really connects us to other people. Number 2, challenge your inner critic. In my book, Step Forward, I share names that I have given these inner critics, and one of them is Debbie Dowder. She is the voice that has lived largely on my shoulder for so much of my life. And she's the voice that tells me you're not good enough. You don't know the answer. Why are you doing that? So that critical voice is that imposter that is lying to you. Powerful, isn't it? Doubt is powerful. So challenge those negative thoughts that you might get and reframe them with positive affirmations about your abilities and what you have to offer the world. I use an acronym that I've created for myself. It's from my book, Step Forward, so it's called STEP, S-T-E-P. S is strong. I say, I am strong. T is tenacious. I am tenacious. E is empowered. I am empowered. P is purposeful. I am purposeful, and God has a plan and purpose for my life. I say this acronym to myself each morning on my walk with my dog, and it really just lifts me up and reminds me that I'm created for more, and so are you. Number 3, start small and celebrate progress, whatever progress that is. In my book, Step Forward, I have a quote, most notably from Marilyn Monroe. It says, give a woman the right shoes and she can conquer the world. Now, in my book, I use shoes as metaphors, so this is a very, very fitting quote, and I want it to inspire you. Now, you don't have to go conquer the world, and that's not the point. I just want you to feel empowered and to step forward with your life. Step into those shoes that give you confidence and start right where you are by using your voice in small ways, like joining an online community or sharing your thoughts in a group chat or speaking up and sharing your thoughts with someone safe. And celebrate each step you take, no matter how small it is. Number 4, practice makes progress. The more you use your voice, the more comfortable you will become at using it. Practice speaking, writing, and sharing your ideas regularly. And really get used to using your own voice and hearing it. Also get used to sharing your ideas. And journaling is a really great place to start. Start writing your ideas down. Even if it feels awkward, just keep going. The more you do it, the easier it will become. A pro tip, you can also practice speaking on your phone by recording in the voice memo on your iPhone. Record something that you like so you can use really good voice inflections like, I just made the most delicious chocolate cake, and then describe that chocolate cake, or whatever it is that lights you up and you want to share. But share something that is exciting so you can practice using really great voice inflections. Start by speaking 1 minute, and then 2 minutes, and then 3 minutes, and then listen to how you sound. You can also practice recording yourself on a video with the photo app on your phone. How do you sound on that recording? Where are you standing? Where are you looking? How fast are you speaking? Or how slowly? And what are you doing with your hands? All great things to look at. So practice that. And number 5, focus on your message, not perfection. Don't let the fear of making mistakes hold you back. We all make them. If you focus on the mistakes or you are worried about what others will think, you will never move forward and you'll never do it. When you feel that prompting inside, just put it out there. Just do that recording, do that reel, or write that post. And there's this fabulous tool out there now called ChatGPT or Gemini, I think it is, on Google. You can use that to prompt. You can use it to correct any typos that you have. As a writer, I was really resistant to it, but I make tons of typos, so it really helps me in that way. But the most important thing is that you put your content out there. Put your message out there. Remember, people will connect with your authenticity, not perfection. People want to see people who are real. They want to see the real you. And when you make mistakes, it shows others that you're human who makes mistakes just like them. So put yourself out there, use your voice, and do the hard and scary thing. You can do this. I have several other tips and tricks that I use, and I would love to help you gain more confidence as you show up and use your voice to speak on video or a podcast or with your writing. My next Speak class starts very soon. If you mention Redlo, R-E-D-L-O, I will give you 15% off for your next class. That's a discount code that I'd love to offer you that opportunity. Please DM me for more information. We can set up a one-on-one call, make sure this is a good fit, or I can just send you the link to the course. And I will put all of my contact information here in the show notes. So have an amazing day. I hope this inspires you. I hope this inspires you to use your voice. I hope you see the power in your voice. I hope you see how amazing you are. And I hope you know that you are seen, you are heard, you are loved, you are valued, and you belong. Until we meet again, may God bless you. Continue to step forward one step at a time.